Welcome to Word of the Day Wednesdays. I started Word of the Day Wednesdays probably about a month ago, and around that time it was impressed in my heart to kind of share these nuggets and revelations and intuitions and things that I felt like God had put in my heart to other people who probably had something similar going on. Maybe they needed the confirmation, maybe not. And then it kind of morphed into discussing more of my latest blog posts. So I share a blog post every week, and you can view it on betterthanwine.net or on my blog or on my website, NicoleDMiller.com. And the latest blog that I just published is called Trusting God in the Process. Now, I've had this little blog for almost 10 years, you guys. We'll be celebrating the 10-year anniversary for my blog next year. Whoop, whoop. So stay tuned for that. Probably be some type of virtual party. But that blog has just been a lifeline for me to process things that I'm going through in my life, hardships, also to celebrate the good times, celebrate all of the blessings, all of the amazing community and opportunities I've had in my journey. And so sometimes with me with writing, what's really cool is that I get revelation when I write. So it's not just me venting or me processing. It's like, oh, I get insight, or, oh, I didn't know I felt that way. So it can be like a subconscious thing, and then maybe sometimes the answer comes through my writing. I feel like it's Holy Spirit giving me the answer through my writing. So this latest post, this was a tough one. I wrote this right off of hearing some disappointing news. So you guys know I've been on this journey with my foot. I'm still on the journey. Keep me in prayer. And basically, I was told I would need surgery. The S word. The interesting thing about it is that I had been like praying against surgery. I had my friends praying against surgery. Did not want surgery, right? And so when I got that news, I was in the car leaving Ubering, because I wasn't driving at the time, Ubering, and was on the phone with a dear friend, older woman, more of a mentor and a family member in my eyes. And I could tell she felt the way that I felt. She was like, disappointed. We didn't want to walk this route, But what I told her, and I share about this in the blog post, is I know the final outcome is healing. And I know that God is going to heal me. He is a healer. This is what I know to be true. He's given me several confirmations. However, I don't know the process to my healing. I don't know what I'm going to walk through to get there. And so I know that's probably something so many of you guys can relate to, right? As we get older, as we mature, as we grow, we start learning that we don't know everything. We don't know we don't even know the outcome, really. Even those impressions and the things that are in our hearts that we feel like could be God, we feel like could be the creator, maybe it's not, right? We kind of doubt that. So we all struggle with going through a process. So what I share about in my blog is I can look back on my journey. And I recently was listening to a podcast where she was sharing something similar. Her name is Patrice Washington. And she was sharing something similar just about being able to look back on your previous journey and see how God moved and see how you overcame those things, and knowing like you can overcome this too. Funny thing, while I was listening to that podcast, I was struggling in my own thoughts, struggling about my current situation, and I feel like God was like, Nicole, pay attention. Pay attention. I'm talking to you right now through this podcast. Apply this to your current situation. I'm like, oh, okay. I almost missed it. You're right, God. You're right, Patrice. I could look back on my journey and I could see so many times where I overcame. And so I do share that in the blog about a significant period of time in my life where I was struggling. I was hit hard and I was in this place of standstill. But I can look back and I can see God did such a work in my life and my character and my mind. And ultimately, I feel like He was preparing me for the next stage of life. So even though there was opposition, there was resistance, there was turmoil, I lost my hair, I was so stressed out, I can look back and say I got through that time period, and not just got through it, but I came out a better version of myself. And I do want to submit that to you. If you're going through a hardship, if you're going through a process, if you're going through a standstill or a difficult season, look back on your journey, see how you've overcome other things, especially similar things, right? And lay hold of that. The other thing that has encouraged me in this journey is how other people have been through similar seasons as me right now, and other people have gone through similar circumstances, and they didn't all came out. They didn't come out on top. They didn't got through. They didn't fully recover. They didn't fully heal. So I've tried to lay hold of that as well, and that has been very encouraging. So trusting God in the process is never easy, but when we look back on our journey, when we look back and see how many times have we overcome, how many times has He come through, how many times have we learned and grown and evolved through as a result of the outcome of what we went through. Those of you who don't know this, my very first book is How to Overcome Heartbreak, Recovering from Misguided Love. In that specific book, now that was a process. I was dealing with a breakup. I was an emotional wreck, you guys. I mean, that relationship ending was my world ending. I had lost my identity. I had put my whole heart, soul, foot, mouth, teeth, everything was in that relationship. So when it was gone, when it ended, I felt like my life ended. And that was one of the hardest things in my life. However, clearly I'm sitting here fine in my right mind, doing all right. So I got through it, but it was a process, and some things we don't just bounce back from. We have to go through the process of recovery. That's where I'm at again with this foot. So if you want to check out more about me, again, my website, NicoleDMiller.com. You can follow me on all of my social media platforms. Here on Facebook, my Facebook page is facebook.com/HTOHB, which stands for How to Overcome Heartbreak. You can check me out on Instagram at HCOHB, Twitter, Nicole D. Miller. You can email me, NicoleDMiller1983@gmail.com. I'm also on LinkedIn. And, of course, my blog, BetterThanWine.net. I appreciate you guys tuning in for this Word of the Day Wednesdays. Feel free to comment. Any feedback that you have, email me, and I'll definitely respond ASAP. Enjoy your evening.